So now here's our assignment. The same way you always do it, you split your screen and you put the grid, you open up the grid, move the grid to the left, open up the images, put the images on the right. So Mr. D is going to do it a different way this time. I have my grid right here, and I have my images right here. And this is image 1. It's a very interesting image here. So now we need to figure out the impact of social media on American society by looking at this image. And we have to use our grid. Okay. Okay. So by looking at this image, would anybody like to make a comment of what they think is going on in this image? You can say it. You
The
can type
phone is
it.
mimicking a face hugger from Alien.
The phone is mimicking a face hugger from the movie Alien. For those of you who don't know, I've never seen the movie Alien.
You should.
Okay, tell everybody what that face hugging alien does.
It jumps on your face and then it plants eggs in your mouth and then it explodes in your stomach and you die.
Okay, so now, what do you think is going on in this image with the technology implanted on this person's face? Please give us your analysis. Go ahead.
It's planting information in your face.
Okay, so it's planting information into your face or into your brain, right? Okay. So technology. Look at the legs around that phone. What kind of a grip do you think it has on the brain of that human being?
A sharp and tight grip.
Yeah. This might sound like a silly question, but think about it. Is this kind of metaphorically sometimes how you feel with technology or social media specifically? When you get too caught up in social media, maybe you go down a rabbit hole of social media or you spend way too many hours on social media. Don't have to answer that question. You answer it in your own head, right? So, all right, let's take a look at this. Now let's move back over here. Whoops. Okay, I'm going to make a copy of this. Teacher copy. So now we come over here and we look. Who's the speaker? It's unknown. So you should follow me and you should be typing this right now. Speaker is unknown. What is the occasion, the setting, the time, and the place? So what you're going to type for all of them is current time, and you're going to type America. Or you could type America today. Simple. Right? And you can do that for all 4. Okay. So audience, who's looking at this? This is Americans. Okay, this is a problem or an issue, not so much problem, an issue in our society today, right? So who's supposed to look at this? Right? The purpose. Why was this created? Was it to inform? Is it to entertain? Is it to persuade? What's one of those? So is this image favoring the positive or the negative? Well, it's pretty intense, right? So it's not really an unbiased depiction of what's going on here. This is trying to depict a very intense way that technology impacts a human being. So this is a little bit less to inform. Maybe it's a little bit to entertain, like, Ryan said, it reflects that movie. But I would say this is to persuade. Right? To persuade an individual to believe in the intense. I'm going to use the word intense. To me, that seems like an intense depiction of the negative impact of social media. There it is. So make sure you're copying this down so you can see it. This is to persuade. So whoever made that wants to persuade you to believe that not only is social media have a negative impact on a human being, a mostly negative impact, it's really bad. The level, the degree of negativity is high. It's intense. Social media will clamp onto your face, inject information into your brain, deep into your brain, as a form of mind control. So you can interpret that in many different ways. But the valid generalization can be, we'd all agree it's valid. That's a negative depiction, right? So how negative? I'm saying this person's trying to persuade you by putting a giant alien type spider over the face with the phone there. The degree of negativity is high. Okay? So what's the meaning? Does anybody else want to take a shot and say it verbally? What do they think is the message in this image? What's the message here? What is the creator of this image trying to tell us about social media?
Social media bad.
Social media is bad. How bad?
It becomes addicting to some people.
It becomes addicting to some people. So this is a negative impact of social media on an American's life because it can become addicting. So just like we said, a spider lays eggs, and this is like a cell phone spider, and it's like laying the eggs of social media information into your brain, and those eggs grow in your brain, right? Like little digital organisms that live in your brain and tell you, go to the mother, the cell phone, the mother spider, check your phone, check your phone, check your phone. All right. So let's come back over here. The message. Okay. Negative impact of social media. Weighs heavy, and, or let's say because, it can become addicting to American society. See that, how we did that? Let me zoom in for you. And zoom up. There you go. You can see it. You should be typing that in right now. Your job, you have 20 minutes, is to do image 2, 3, and 4. And once you're done, you fill out the claim, the conclusions, the 3 conclusions, and the claim. Actually, you could do 2 conclusions. Don't do conclusion 3. Just do conclusion 1, do conclusion 2, and then make a claim from it. Here you go. Here's the answers again. So you have the rest of the period to finish copying down example 1 that I typed. Move on. Do image 2, 3, and 4 yourself. Only do conclusion 1 and conclusion 2, and then make your claim using conclusion 1 and 2. You have the rest of the period. You can begin. Go.